Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about early extension in the golf swing. So we're going to talk about what is early extension, how can we test for early extension, and more importantly, how can we help you fix it.
Guys, let's get into the start of this video. So now, what is early extension? A lot of people ban this term around in the golf swing, right?
So real common one again, probably for a lot of your lessons and the majority of golfers, and certainly something I've suffered with most of my golfing career as well. So early extension typically is when we sort of come forwards towards the ball.
So a lot of people will kind of put an arrow here, won't they, in the golf swing and standing up.
Yeah, you typically feel the weight come a little bit towards the toes, and you might see that the club path shallows out a little bit. Again, it can change the sort of the base club path, that type of thing. But it's typically that movement of the butt coming off that line that would be drawn down the back of you. Comes with a change of posture typically as well.
Because I think a lot of people sort of have heard the term bandied around and see a few different kind of options of what it is, but ultimately hips are getting close to the golf ball and you're standing up. If we're making it as simple as possible.
Yeah, if we're keeping it in simple terms, that's essentially what it is.
Okay, so now you know what early extension is, let's look at how do you test it. So if you had somebody come and say, I'm going to play the student, so no matter if this is a senior, young, athletic, whatever it is, this is the test that Nat would put you through.
Yeah.
So what would it be?
Okay, so what we're going to do to test early extension is called overhead squat test.
Oh, God.
So it's probably the trickiest test that we get all golfers to do because it involves the full chain of the body.
Okay.
So it means that you can't really cheat out of this. You need to be good in all areas to pass this test.
Okay.
So what I'm going to get you to do is to take the speed stick for me. So you could driver if you're at home.
You could do this at home, couldn't you?
Yeah, ideally a longer club, it gives you a little bit more space. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to take the club and you're going to bring it above the crown of the head, completely locked out like that. I'm going to get you to take your feet to about shoulder width. Make sure your toes are pointing forwards. If I just come around this side of you, Alex, I'm going to make sure that your arms are completely straight, club above the crown of the head there, and you're just going to take 3 squats for me, as low as you naturally can, okay?
I'm already struggling.
There's a reason why you're doing this.
Okay, so, like, realistically, that's as far as I can go.
Okay, let's have 2 more just to check it. So, same again, natural position.
Have I got to try and keep everything in line, right?
That's it. At this point, if you were one of my students, I'd give you really limited instruction because I want to see natural movement with it. Okay, so if I give you a bit of help, you're probably going to do something different to what you ordinarily would do. Okay. So that's a true test. So what we're looking for in terms of the test and the test result is that ideally you can get your hip line level with your knee line, if not below it. Okay, so keeping the feet flat and not letting the club drop forward.
So straight away, like I'm doing that, I feel like tight in here and tight in my I guess it's lats, with the right thing? Around over here, middle spine,
different things going on in there. But can you feel the weight dispersion change between the feet as well? Do you feel like the weight's coming towards the toes? If you were to go any further, would you fall backwards?
I'd probably go backwards.
Yeah, so we're finding a little restriction normally then probably in the ankles and the hips as well, preventing you get a little
It's mad because I think people don't realise this, and we said this on one of the vast videos that we've done. Like, you think, oh, I early extend, I've got to do a golf drill, and yes, as a golf coach, I would say do the golf drill, but the whole picture is you could do the drill to the nth degree, but not actually be able to make the movement.
Yeah, I think early extension is probably one of the biggest things to get right physically. Because I know from experience as well, as someone who's played golf since being a teenager, and typically as a younger kid, you're not as strong, you're not as well developed. It's a movement you see a lot in juniors as well. They just want to get the ball in the air and they come thrusting towards it. Without any kind of physical development, it's very hard to out-drill this error in your golf.
I guess that's why so many people have it.
Yeah, I mean, typically if you think about the average person, we spend all day sat down, whether that be at work or then we come home, we dinner at the table, we sit on the sofa. So we're essentially not getting what's activation of the glutes. And a big error with early extension is a lack of lower body strength, typically from glute max, which is the biggest muscle in the body. So from the side here, if I can't keep myself in posture, being supported by my glutes, my hamstrings, my quads,
everything's just going to want to go towards the golf ball.
As soon as I come into a bit of speed, so I'm going to go backswing, I try and get in that downswing, well, I can't take the weight and pace that I'm moving at. And my easiest motion is to come forwards here because if I didn't, I'd fall back that way with the golf club. And your body's main thought as a person is to keep you on balance the whole time. So it'll always find a way around it. You'll compensate and you'll cheat.
That's why a lot of people then stand up to counterbalance it.
What you typically see is that kind of motion, or sometimes some people sort of get this hip really out the way here and then sort of stuck behind that right hip, maybe a bit flippy. Again, on days when your timing's good, you'll probably get away with it.
I feel good.
I know that. Most of my life here until last year. So it is something that you can work around, but it's certainly a physical issue you definitely want to try and get right.
So we know what it is in the golf swing. We know how to test it. And if someone's doing this at home, would you say just get towards a mirror and look for those points?
Yeah.
Try and get them in?
What I would do, if you've got a phone with a camera, which most people do, is set it up and film yourself, because then you're not going to cheat. If we've got a mirror, the temptation
you can sort of like
and cheat.
Yeah.
So do it naturally. Set the phone up in the distance. Take your driver. Come to the side. Have 3 reps like this, and then face the camera. Have 3 reps
like that,
and have a little look at what you're seeing. You're probably going to feel it, but it's good to see.
What are the touch points? Just remind them what the touch points are. Are we looking face on, what we're looking for there, and then what we're looking for from the side on?
So if I get you to go face on first, we're going shoulder width with the feet, pointing forwards. We want to try and avoid this position,
and because that's what I want to do. I really want to go like that straight away.
There's nothing wrong with this position in training, but for the test we want to keep it uniform.
Okay.
The club is coming directly above the crown of the head.
Okay.
And the arms extend upright, and you're just going to squat down from there.
You're That's hard. And then from the side on, you want to get 90 degrees.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
So if you get the camera to be pointing bang on sides,
like if you were doing filming. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So, what is the test? How do I rectify this? So before we get into how you fix this, it is worth saying what we're doing right here and now is literally scratching the surface with this.
Yeah.
So if you think, unfortunately, in the UK we are now in lockdown, you could use this month to get the body right. Well, on the way to getting the body right. It's not going to change in a month, but get yourself in a better position. So after that month, come out, swinging the golf club a little bit better, but having a better understanding of how you get better at golf.
Yeah, I think that's the key thing, is having an awareness of your body and how it moves.
Yeah.
Because all golf swings are different. Like, you know, how many people do you teach with the exact same golf swing?
No.
And they shouldn't be either,
No.
because we're all built different.
Yeah.
So I think the key things for like a lot of players to remember is analysing your movement and what's natural for you.
So if you want more information on what Nat does, and by the way, you can do this remotely if you're worried about that, or just get in contact. Nat knows more about it than me. Her information is down below to her website and her email. Strongly recommend that. So Nat, what have I got to do now? So this is something that I guess people could do at home now.
Yeah, this is a dead easy home exercise. So I'll take the club from you and I'm going to get you to lie on the mat.
Okay, I'm on the mat.
Okay, so we're going to talk through a few technique pointers to try and get this exercise right. Because it is quite simple, but it's really easy to get wrong if we don't get the technique pointers as they should be. So what I'm going to get you to do, Alex, is just have your heels roughly under your knees, both of them.
Okay. Would you say, like, before, like, take a video doing this?
Yeah, I mean, I think it always helps, because you can look back on your own form then, and obviously if you're in your household, you can just get someone to check, and there's no harm in using a mirror at this point in time.
No, okay.
Only really for the testing we say try not to use a mirror, because it allows
you can change stuff. Yeah.
So if I get you to lie all the way back, you can rest. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to try and get the glutes moving and sort of engage the glute tissue and get some strength developed in there. So a couple of technique pointers. We've got the heels just roughly under the knees, just in front. Pop your hands on your chest for me. If you find this a little bit more difficult, what you can do is put the hands on the floor. It just gives you a little bit of a push.
Get them on here then.
So, where your belly button is, to suck it down to the floor. If I said to you now, I'm going to come underneath you here with a credit card, I shouldn't be able to slide it underneath. You should have your lower back completely.
So you're not like arched up kind of thing.
Exactly. We don't want any arch, we want a nice neutral lower back as much as possible. I'm going to get you to squeeze both butt cheeks. So imagine you've got a £1 coin right in the middle. And
Right.
When you feel like both are tight, you're going to raise up and keep going to the point where you feel like you can stabilise yourself. So if I just get you to hold this position, I think what we want to just make all the golfers aware of at this point in time is we don't want to overbridge. So if I get you to come a little bit higher, almost ridiculously high, like your back arches.
I'm trying.
Okay. So you can feel maybe in here.
Definitely.
Not pain, but sensation.
Definitely. So there is.
At that point, we've lost the core engagement, we've lost the glute engagement. So you're going to hold for about 5 seconds, and then I'll get you to come all the way back down. So in between reps here, what I'm going to get you to do is just completely relax. Because if you're a beginner to this exercise, it can be really difficult to feel the sensation. So I'm saying hold a £1 coin in between your butt cheeks. Well, if you've never done that before, it's a bit
what is it?
So relax entirely now, you're back on the ground, and then I'm going to get you to repeat. So you're going to suck your belly button down to your spine, down to the floor. So I shouldn't be able to get the credit card underneath you.
I'm good there.
Squeeze both butt cheeks. Drive yourself up just before that point where you feel like the back will arch, and you're going to over squeeze now, like really over exaggerate the tension as much as you can, and then you 5 second hold and you drop yourself down. And that's just the real basic glute bridge. And it's such a great exercise. It looks super simple, and it is. But
it's a lot harder than it looks, I'm telling you.
Without that engagement, it's an entirely different beast. So what we're replicating here, if I come into golf posture, is that as I'm engaging my glutes and my core, I'm stopping myself coming into this position because I've got that stability and that strength in that. And I'd say for most golfers, if you're a beginner, 12 to 15 reps is a good place to start. If you find this a little easier, then you can always do the single leg version.
Okay, what would that be?
All you're going to do from here is you can either cross one leg on the opposite knee. If that's tight, you can just let the leg lie in the air in front of you.
Okay, that's actually not too bad.
And then you're just going to repeat the same motion. So exactly the same technique points, we draw the core in, and you bridge up as high as you can. And you'll find that this is a little bit more difficult.
It's a lot more difficult.
It's a bit less stable. You'll feel the hips wobble a little bit. So this is your advanced version. If you find the double leg bridge a bit too easy, then we come to the single leg bridge, 10 to 12 each side, and that will get you going.
I think I'm going to find it like oh my God. My right is so much tighter than my left. Yeah, it was my knee. Alright, down.
Same point as you bridge up and you squeeze that left glute as tight as you can.
So for most golfers, would you recommend starting on the double leg and then going single?
Yeah, I think double leg's a great place to start. Even if you feel a bit too advanced for it, it's a nice warm-up either way. So if you're a golfer who's never been to the gym before and you've never dabbled in training, particularly resistance or strength-based training, double leg bridge, get your technique right, because if you're keen to get into the gym going forwards and you want to do a little bit more, then having the technique of the double leg bridge really transfers to a lot of movements you'll do in terms of squatting, deadlifting, lunging, all that type of thing. So it's like getting your grip and your posture right. You want to get it right.
I think most people are like scared of doing stuff like this because they think, bloody hell, I've got to go in the gym. It's like, it's quite aggressive exercise as well. Something like this is really simple.
Mega simple, easily done at home. You don't need any equipment. There's loads of variations and advancements as well, which is a nice thing about a bridge. And I think even for someone like me, like I'll train 3, 4, 5 times a week sometimes, like I'll always come back to a bridge because I know it's just a basic that you want to get right.
Okay, so there you go. You know what early extension is, you know how to test it, and hopefully with those 2 exercises or those 2 different variations, the same one, you're on your way to fixing it and making your golf swing a little bit better. Like I said before, if you want more information, fire Nat an email down below because I think we're scratching the surface with this. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks, Nat, for coming on.
No problem.
And don't forget to tune in next week where we've got more of this kind of stuff.